Data analytics gives you the advantage of getting to answer questions in a faster time. In esports, you have a topic where all those technologies can be applied with an actual great purpose.
All 16 of our teams are still standing, but group stage is about to come to an end. We just have one series left today, and then after that, they are all going to be scattered into that double elimination bracket, and we are going to start sending folks home. You want to make sure that you get into the upper portion of the bracket. Both of the teams that we are about to put a spotlight on still have that opportunity. They need to win this next best of three. It is going to be Pango and Vici, and this is not a matchup that we really anticipated here, Nahaz. If you asked me at the beginning of the day, after what I heard from the other analysts, this just didn't even seem to be a thing that came up in the permutations of possible matches.
I guess it should have, because we were thinking, wow, what's wrong with Liquid after they struggled to put away Pango, and then Liquid turns right around and neatly dispatches Vici. So I think it may not have been what we expected, but at least based on what we've seen, this is the right matchup in terms of the upper-lower bracket decider.
And I want to take a quick second here to kind of move away from this group. Obviously, this has been the group that we've put our focus on, but you were starting to talk like, what is going on? To anybody who's only been watching this stream right now, maybe doesn't have another tab open to keep tabs with everything, what on earth is going on with the rest of the groups?
Well, I have to see the tables. All right, we can see it. We can't see it here. Never mind.
No, I mean, EG. So I saw
that
some of the first series.
Let's start with EG.
And EG took care of Aster with no problem. I was like, all right, this is going exactly how I expected. Yeah, not so much.
I wasn't expecting Fnatic to be this strong, I gotta say. I was expecting Alliance to do good, so I'm not surprised that they beat Aster and they took a game from EG. I think they're playing the second game right now.
Right.
So Alliance is a team that kind of has a good transition from, like, they were not even tier 2 team at one point, and they have like a super good chance of becoming a tier 1 team, and they are playing extremely well. I saw some of their picks as well. They're looking decent. Loda's coaching coming into play as well.
I think they've made a ton of improvements. We'll talk. I'm sure we'll get to panel them at least once because I like the progress that they've made over the last couple of months. But the bigger picture is there are a lot of people that would have had EG and Aster coming out into the upper bracket out of that group. If it is indeed Fnatic and Alliance in the upper bracket out of that group, that's going to be the group of chaos.
Well, we're starting to see already with multiple, I mean, look just at C and D, the two groups that we're really paying attention to today. We can see this bracket turn for, I mean, honestly, it'll get bloody quick in the lower portion of the bracket, depending on how this goes, because you're sending some real top dogs there. But I do want to switch it back to the match that we were about to watch, because Nahaz brought it up, kind of saying maybe people didn't have enough faith in Pango. Do you think that that's the case here, that maybe Pango was sold a little short?
I think CIS region right now could be the strongest region. There's been a struggle besides VP, which was tier 1 team. Others were really below them. It was kind of a fight who's going to be the best tier 2 team. Now we have Pango, we have Gambit, there's also Na'Vi. Vinstrike is not there. There's like nowhere to see them after a good performance in the last year. But Pango, definitely a team to look out for, even though they lost the best player in my book. But King are doing a good job. I should probably unmute him in my pubs as well. I mean, there are a lot of players when I cast the games who are muted for me for a reason.
Understood. I mean, that's all of us in Dota. I think the big thing that you see with these CIS teams following on Lacoste's point is CIS was a region for a long time that most of the talented 1 players, they all wanted to be the big farming cores. They wanted to be the 1 and the 2 position. The fact is, in Pro Dota right now, if you are solid 3 through 5, you're going to have a chance to compete. And that's what I'm seeing with these CIS teams, particularly Pango. Their 3, 4, and 5 position players are all, they're young, they're quite talented. Sioma is, of course, a veteran presence, and they play very well off each other.
And there's no stability in CIS scene, because if you look at the list of the teams that each player played for, you're going to see 10, 15,
Exactly.
20 teams. That's pretty insane. You're not going to see that in any other region. So they need to find a stack of 5 people who get along well, which is the toughest part in CIS scene, I guess, because everyone played with them. But we've seen actually like reincarnation of the players who played the teams before, then they split, then they go back together.
We've seen quite a few different teams out of this group of players. The Pango one maybe starting to stick. Obviously, they do have that stand-in. We talked about some of the strengths of this lineup. Do you think that they have any major weaknesses, any red flags that you want to bring to the people's attention, Haas?
I mean, I think they certainly can be pretty volatile at the 1 and 2 positions. That's pretty typical of CIS. You know, some of their picks, Axe has been a big pick for them. There's still some questions in a lot of people's mind about how good that hero is right now. I think the big question coming in, a lot of people, I think, would have been much higher on Pango if they'd had Zayats coming into this tournament.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's just because it's not disrespect to the other 4 players. It's an indicator of just how much esteem we have for him.
Zayats has grown so much, man.
It really has.
He's played from position 4, especially with the Treant as well, or some of the best in the previous year.
I mean,
now, let's talk about their opponents, right? We're saying maybe Pango was a little bit undersold. I think it's clear to see some of the reasons that actually caused that. But now when we look over on the side of VG, they don't have any stand-in, and this should have been the easiest team to call to a certain
They play
degree.
like they have a stand-in. So
yeah,
that's the bigger problem.
The game flow today has just been really strange, and they have to look back at game 1 and say, okay, the itemization decisions were not great. We made a couple of mistakes. Game 2, though, it's still such a strange Dota game to me. Like it on paper, right? You're supposed to have this big combo. I mean, we were looking back at some of the fights, and Luna doesn't even have Eclipse in a couple of those first few fights where you're supposed to have the Coil Eclipse combo. She didn't have it till level 13.
Yeah, Fogdlake came in here.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that he wanted to talk about. But you think about the group as a whole, right? One of the teams that we obviously haven't talked about, like you talk about the new addition of Fear, right? So then you look at Liquid, you look at Pango. Obviously, they have stand-ins. The one team that everybody felt safe talking about was this lineup. And a lot of the analysts predicted them to top the group because of that lack of volatility, because of the fact that... So where do you think it goes wrong? Where do you think we start finding ourselves in the position where we have those itemization problems? Game 2 happens. You have that double rapier game. How does that happen?
It's one of the oldest memes in Dota history. Like, buys Aghanim Scepter, doesn't level up ulti. I mean, they had a problem in game 1. I think they just needed to man up again, group up, try to force a fight, smoke, get a pick off, and try to finish the game. It was their game. It was in the bag for them.
All right, so now we got to keep all that in mind when we actually do jump into this matchup. But this is just such an interesting group to look at when you're seeing. This has been probably one of the least predictable days. Obviously, we're only 2 days into the tournament, but nothing has gone according to plan.
But the contrast between day 1 and day 2 is really the thing that gets you. Right?
Yeah.
Because not only were the end results yesterday pretty predictable, but most of the games, I mean, it was kind of like, okay, we're seeing basically what we saw at the minor. And then all of a sudden today, not only are the results unusual, but the individual games and the way they've played out have been something else.
Have you seen any big trends from the minor that are seeming to stick, that are very important to keep our eye on at all?
I mean, you need to have one of the heroes, maybe even 2, but definitely one hero who builds these team fighting items.
Yep.
Crimson Guard, Pipe,
Vlads.
Guardian Greaves, Vlads. Then you group up if you win the lanes, even if you just win 2 lanes, get those team fighting items, just close the game. It's so easy to snowball these days.
Yep.
Now taking a look here at some of the stats since 7.20, looking at Vici Gaming right now. Pretty decent win rate there, Nahaz, to be taking into account. Is there anything that we should be paying attention to as far as the heroes that are listed here?
Well, I mean, obviously the Phoenix pick is something that's a signature for a couple of the Chinese teams. The Elder Titan pick is something that the Chinese teams value quite a bit more than a lot of the Western squads. Fog has been on the ET train forever, but I look at that Puck pick and that Razor pick in the big win rates. Again, it sounds like a broken record, but when you talk about VG, I think the discussion always has to start with Ori. That he's a player that when he's on can look like one of the better mids at the tournament. When he's off, his impact is very limited. And in that first game, in both of those two games, he had a laning advantage that I felt he should have won a little harder than he did. And I thought his impact in the mid game should have been a little bit higher than it was.
So Ori looks off right now.
You know, when you are talking about a guy that your organization, Vici basically bought an entire another organization to get that one player.
Yeah.
And the bar for him, it's pretty high.
So, safe to say, maybe Ori, is he going to be the pressure point in your mind? If he looks off right now, if he looked off in that series, is he the guy that we need to be looking for to really pull out all the stops?
We've seen this from Vici Gaming before. They lose a couple of games at the early start, and they can't find their gameplay after that. They're not that comeback team. But we can go back to the picks. Like the Phoenix, he was not that popular at the minor. You need to draft around Phoenix. You need to have something that against Phoenix to get on top of him. Mirana's not that popular. Ursa not that popular anymore.
Lena's
fallen off. So all these big egg hitters are kind of out of the game right now. And if you draft well around Phoenix, especially with something like a Void, such a great hero.
So I don't think that any of the series predictions have been right so far today, right? So let's do it again. Let's have a series prediction. Who do you think?
Like right now, without seeing the draft, I'll say 3-0 for Vici Gaming.
There we go. 3-0.
3-0. Best of 3. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have it. We're gonna have the 3-0.
I don't like your chances there, I have to say.
You know, I believe in this guy.
No, I'm going to go.
He's the opposite of Kyle.
Wow.
It's not
There's so many ways I could go with that.
I hear 3-0 from him. I'm like, yeah, 3-0. 3-0.
No, actually, that's very Kyle. To be completely confident in something that you're guaranteed to be wrong about. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I'll say 2-1 actually for Pango. I think Vici Gaming can get a game off them.
I'm going to go 2-1 Vici. I still think this Vici squad is, again, really good. It's just a matter of coming back and riding the ship. I think they had the second game draft, I think, was a little weaker. The first game draft, I thought was very, very solid. And it's just a matter of playing to the current meta.
Yeah, and the other thing to note, obviously, this isn't an elimination series, but you're getting close to the elimination series. You either put yourself in a position where you're in an elimination series, or you keep that lifeline alive. So this is about as important as it can get. It's also going to be our last series of the day. We're going to actually get into that draft phase very shortly here, and we're going to see what these teams do decide to lock in. And I am really curious if this series, win or lose, if we're going to get any of those questions answers between these two teams. Because I just feel like when we looked at Group C, it's the group of mystery. There's so many things up in the air as to how these teams are going to perform, not only in group stages, but throughout the entire tournament.
It's certainly played out that way. I mean, we knew there was going to be a lot of uncertainty just because, like, half the teams in the group were playing with these two big stand-ins, right? So I guess we shouldn't be that surprised that we've seen some weirdness. But again, the stand-ins have been fine. And if anything, Shadow gained in strength, notably throughout the day.
Yep.
King R's been solid. That's not been the issue.
Yeah. And maybe some issues have formed around them that we can't fully understand without hearing the comms, but still it doesn't seem to be where the issue came from. But I do want to give a major shout out to someone on our team. That's going to be SAP, providing us with help with all of the analytics throughout the entirety of the weekend, the entirety of the show. Thank you very much to SAP. And now I'm seeing it getting queued up right now. We're about to jump into that draft, and I am very excited. You talk about them potentially playing to the meta, right? Is that something that you want to see as well? Do you want to see meta picks when we get into this phase?
I don't like to use words such as meta because like this patch is still undiscovered, even though it's when it came out, like November.
Yeah, but it's again, it's one of the biggest patches that we've had in a long time, and it's also it's very different because I was just talking with Richard about this. Most of the patches in Dota for the last few years have pretty much been trickle-down balance. This is the first patch we've had in a long time that's been mostly about we didn't want pubs to feel still anymore. So we got a lot of big reworks.
We got tired of the heroes being played all the time. But let me tell you a story. You don't have to be good at the game. You don't have to have all this knowledge, have the math.
This is important to me.
How much
what can I do? What can I do?
How much strength does hero gain per level? So Matumba Man was actually thinking that when you use a Ghost Shroud, you amplify the spell damage for your other spells. So he was using Ghost Shroud into Reaper's Sight to get more damage.
And this
That's
is right
the
after
story that I've
TI.
heard. Yeah, so you don't actually need to have that much knowledge. If you interview the players about some of the numbers, how things work, they would not know. I guarantee it, because they just play with the feeling about the game. You don't need to know the number. You just need to feel, can you go in and get out, considering how much HP you have.
And do you think that's perfectly fine? Just going off of that feeling, going off of that instinct, whether you're going to be able to get out or not.
Yeah.
I think that depends a lot on what team you're talking about. I think certain teams are very analytical.
How much of a factor do you think a coach actually plays into that as well? Do you think that's perfectly safe to go off of your instinct if you have a strong coach? But now we are going to see the picks coming on through. How do we like this so far, Nahaz? What's to say?
I like the open on the side of Pango a great deal. I think Sven is, I like 4 positions Sven, even 5 positions Sven a lot right now. He still has some flex value. You can slide him over into the core position if need be. The draft dictates. Oracle is a hero that has shot up in value in the last month or two. A lot of teams liking this hero, experimenting with different lane combinations.
Like, nothing changed about this hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's
this
the
hero
funny thing. Right.
got buffed on his Q. That's it. That's literally it.
Right.
And I like the opening from Pango as well. The effective HP from Sven's Warcry and Lich armor on a target that's a lot of damage, a lot of physical damage mitigated by these two.
So with only a change to the Q, what do you think the reason is that Oracle's stock has shot up suddenly?
Because other heroes were nerfed. We kind of were in a really bad spot, how we were balancing the game. Like something's overpowered, we just nerf. We're just using the Band-Aid patching, which was not great. So a lot of the supports got nerfed, and,
on Oracle.
Also one of the points is that root mechanic got way stronger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Your Q's really good. Now, I think it's a lot of teams too have gotten a bit better playing around it. Historically, Oracle is actually like the worst win rate in Pro Dota by far.
Wow.
And it's just because he's a hero that it's not necessarily playing the hero itself. You have to learn to play around it. And I've seen a lot more teams get better at not just playing around the ult, but playing around the magic community. The hero has actually played right, has more than one save.
You know why is that? Because people still don't understand how ulti works.
Yeah.
If you're gonna die or not, that could possibly be the problem. But I like the OD ban, and I feel like OD is one of the heroes. He has a couple of bad matchups, but hero got buffed so much you can easily recover. That was one of the downsides of the hero before he got buffed. You can easily farm the Ancients. You can come back even if you don't have that great of a laning stage.
I like that Huskar ban too. I think that's something that you have to respect anytime you see an Oracle on board.
Why is that so important when you do see an Oracle on board to go for a ban like that?
Just because if you have any hard save with a Huskar, right? Huskar is this hero that his DPS increases hugely as his HP drops. And so with these hard saves where Huskar can stand there and attack on like 10% HP, the amount of damage that he outputs goes up exponentially.
Just snowballs there, and now we're going to see another lot coming in here on the side of Pango.
Yeah, interesting too how almost all the drafts that we've seen today have been 3s and mostly supports ban first phase, and then all core
wow.
ban second phase.
So they renamed
themselves.
Yeah, from no Pangolier to Deep Pango, and they just got it.
Is it good here though?
I mean, it's good. Cutting the back line, finding the Oracle, just trying to stun him.
I don't know.
He has this like weird new
Yeah,
skill that makes no sense, like
his
disable
passive is just,
or like it's disarm or silence.
yeah,
Both
it's
can
the
proc at the
RNG,
same time. Yeah.
Who thought of that?
Someone should get fired, definitely.
So you don't like the Pango?
Nah.
That change was really dumb. I don't understand it.
Well, we're gonna get to see it in action now. The Pango living up to
This
their
is a
name.
really strong tri lane if Vici Gaming wants to run it.
Well,
that's a good counter.
Exactly, and a hero that has, first of all, has tri-lane potential itself, and I mean that Jug Lich dual lane is just Frost Shield and Spin is amazing.
Jug Lich has been a combo that's already come up in the other groups. We saw it in A and B frequently. Now we're going to see it here in C in our final series of the day. How do you try to answer? I feel like one of the things that we heard from some of the other analysts was it is very hard to answer this. Do you think that there's anything that Vici can do here to try to go against a duo like that?
Well, I think they can contest with Vici's tri-lane if they want to just theory crafting right now. Need to see more picks, but once they hit level 2 on side of Vici, Snowball plus Oracle, that's going to be more than enough to save people. But definitely I would give upper hand to Pango's tri-lane.
Out of all the analysts, I feel like I can see you doing math. You theory crafting is something to behold. It looks like he's going to see through the screen. It's absurd.
I do a little bit of math, but
yeah, he's doing it on the
I'm
spot
not doing
right
math.
now.
I'm just playing by the feeling.
Okay, all right.
We're going to see the Yang pick here. Okay, maybe not. A little bit of flex value. I do, with the Luna already on board, this figures to be a Yang Faceless Void. That's the answer to the Jug Magic community.
Yeah, so that means that Faceless Void, that's going to be an offlane Faceless Void. I'm not sure how Faceless Void does against the Pango. He probably beats him in 1 versus 1 scenario. I didn't see that matchup probably ever. Since Pango, he's
definitely got higher damage and a better. I think he's got a better animation too. All right. I'm not sure. I actually though I'm not sure now how the lanes are going to be structured. I was assuming that we were going to see some try through the first 3 picks. I'm not convinced though that Pango is just going to be satisfied with Void 1v1.
Oh yeah, this is also great. Oracle against these 2 heroes, both Sven and Lich, the Dispel the Warcry and Frost Shield. It's going to be amazing. They need, so Vici Gaming is probably going to look into facing their tri-lane because of it. And they needed something to lock down this Juggernaut while he spins through the mid game. So Chronosphere is there. I still feel like they could use some more damage in the Chrono. They need the mid hero, so that's going to be a lot of damage there. But they could possibly even go for an Invoker, another Dispel as well. That's a good setup for Chrono.
You want Vici to go to Invoker?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little yeah, okay. So that would be
that popular.
when they do that right. Paparazzi shifts over to mid and plays the Invoker, and it would be Ori on the Luna, which is fine. They've done that in the past.
I mean, the Pango still has the last pick, so
yeah, that's gonna be huge here. Is that Pango has the overall the 10th pick.
Call me a little bit of a noob, but the fact that you called one of the heroes completely unplayable on the side of Pango.
Oh yeah, the Pango. That's the hero, the Pangolier.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's completely unplayable.
I mean, if somehow you manage to survive at the early stage, the hero does well. But his laning stage is pretty garbage.
His laning stage is garbage, and they already have a lot. Yeah, and this is a good tiny pick, I think. They just have a lot that is going to interfere with this Pango's ability to get through the fights. He needs to be able to roll through these fights with ulti.
They need a lockdown on side of the Pango. They only have Sven stun. You can't really rely on that. Other heroes really vulnerable to any kind of. Okay, they're also Lich and Pango. They're low HP, could easily be burst by Tiny. Maybe a Dragon Knight, since Razor is banned and they have a 10th pick. They need to stun this Void. They need to control him.
Right. I don't know. Do you want to pick Dragon Knight against Tiny in mid?
Yeah.
I think you could try and punish the Tiny a little bit more, surely. You maybe pick Invoker yourself.
Nah.
No?
Not a big fan of Invoker. I just thought they might combine it then because of the second dispel.
I also like it with the 3-position Void also. It sets up the combos really nicely. Yeah.
A lot of things you mentioned that the Pango needs to
That's,
find.
okay, never mind. That's not something I would have picked, but it does. I think it does punish the Tiny in lane quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely has an upper hand, but
wait a minute. Yeah, he's okay. Okay, mid LD. Yep.
Does it have the lockdown that you were looking for? Does it remedy any of the problems in laning? So are you concerned with the Pango draft because they didn't find those things in their last pick?
Yeah, I would say the Vici Gaming definitely won the draft. A lot of teamfight potential. They have 2 good saves, and their heroes can't be bursted that easily.
I think I like Vici's draft a little bit more, but I've seen Pango play this game before. What Pango's trying to do here, they feel like they want to win the lanes, and they just want to play skirmish Dota, right? Vici have these big cooldowns in Eclipse, in Chronosphere to play around. Pango's lineup is always going to be ready to fight, and I feel like if they come out ahead in the landing phase, they're going to look really good in this game. It's very even.
I feel like Vici Gaming has better wave clear, especially with the 3 heroes. So that could be a problem for the Pango.
All right.
Do you think that there's pressure on the laning phase as well, like Nahaz alluded to?
I think mid lane is going to be won by the Sloan Druid. If Vici Gaming wants to go for a tri-lane, I think they have a better tri-lane overall. And
I think
the Faceless Void is going to be in trouble against the Pango. I just feel like I said word Pango 5 times in my last 3 sentences.
So I think I have to play the odds and go for Vici here, but I really badly want to pick Pango.
You really badly want to pick Pango?
Yeah, screw it.
No,
I'm
we
gonna pick
can't
Pango.
do
I'm gonna pick
that,
Pango.
Nahaz. You need to
I'm gonna
say,
pick Pango.
like, I love the Pango, but I also think that Vici's going to
No, all in. I'm on Pango.
All right.
Let's do it.
There we go. Who are you going with before we throw it over to the casters?
Vici Gaming.
Okay, so we're split here. Now we're going to hear from the casters. It's time to jump into the final series of the day.
Thank you so much, Rich. And yes, indeed, Fogged, we are here. It is the final series of the day. The Pango playing the Pango against Vici. What you think, man?
He's a level 17 Pango as well, Ghostic.
Oh my god.
Does play quite a bit. I have not gotten to see this hero too much in actually competitive games. I don't think it's been played that much in competitive, I want to say. This hero suffers a lot in the laning phase. That is it's been like that since the introduction of the hero. If you can get away with the laning phase, you're a pretty beastly hero. Your team fight that you can establish and all that too. And you can build those auras that we've been seeing that are very important for the game now. It went back, it's like full circle, right? Offlaners went from having full auras, and then it became like, all right, you need to rush a Blink Dagger, and now we've gone back to full auras.
Yeah, and you probably still could get away with some of those other items if you wanted. Yeah. Right now he has queued up the Quelling Blade and the Javelin, so who knows?
He does, Ghostic is a little bit more of a, for himself kind of player, right? Like, especially with this Tidehunter that we saw earlier, going for like this Desolator type of build too. 1 Javelin, I think, on Pango is pretty fine. I really like when you can get a little bit of utility, like the Yules, the Vanguard, or Crimson Guard, or something like that. Let's say, maybe not in this game, but just overall, it's usually pretty nice. So let's look at this Oracle, right?
Yes.
We haven't seen this hero a whole lot. I know Alliance really likes to play it. A couple teams do, but there's a great pick versus the Sven and the Lich opener, as you can remove both of those spells, both the Frost Shield as well as that Warcry that comes out.
Yeah, very effective, particularly in the laning stage. You think about sort of how much you rely upon that Frost Shield early on as Vici pick up a couple. The stun there, onto 2 with the wraparound, but poor old Ghostic, Pango, gonna hit the groundo. That was terrible. Oh my god, please stop me next time, Jesus.
You finished it before I could.
Almost.
Ooh, if he self-casted, there was a little bit of a slight chance or higher for him to get that, but it was just last second anyway, and we're gonna follow it as it hits him.
Hello. One more time there.
The power of tag team, right? Level 1. We see it every single time.
Yeah. So Ghostic is going to have to back out of here again. We'll get rooted to the spot. And in the meantime, Yang just going to try and do his best in this lane. But this is a really scary lane here. Obviously, you do have Time Walk, which keeps you more survivable than some other heroes. But still have to be careful about the spin and, of course, the Sven stun.
Both of these offlaners are going to get pretty much nothing, as they are versus tri-lanes. So Yang, he's just going to try to stack up the creep wave a little bit so he can maybe force the equilibrium out, but we see Naive has doubled up. He has 2 ranged creeps. And all right, Ghostic is now taking a different approach. He's going to just hide in the trees to try to get experience that way. Like yeah, these are going to be the most sacked offlaners that we've seen today.
Oh my God. Ghostic giving everybody a lesson here, letting everybody know this is how you got to play Pango nowadays. Just hang out here, soak up some experience. Maybe you get a last hit every now and then.
All right, throw back to like the old offlaners again, right? That's how old offlaners used to be played. You pick like a Wind Ranger who can hide in the tree or something, like cut some trees down and go in there.
I like it.
Still didn't get too much though.
Uh-oh.
And now Yang.
Gotta be careful. He has a time walk also, and is going to be able to jump down to the south.
And he's going to do what Ghostic did and hide in the trees as well. Story of offlaners.
This is interesting, though. It's, I mean, the change-up from the dual lanes to the full-on tri-lane. I wonder if we're going to be seeing some of those other heroes like an Earthshaker or a Clockwork, some of those were more traditionally thought of in that role.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that we've seen the switch up from those like constant dual lanes that we were seeing to now, we got a little bit more of a tri-lane meta. So, we've been looking at the side lanes quite a bit. Mid lane, we do see Ori is doing excellent on the Tiny. That super high base damage, able to do quite well versus Sailor.
That was a haste turn picked up for the Sven, and hanging around that mid lane as Yang is going to be able to have a much better time for it. If they can make a kill happen, this is worth it, but it looks like they're going to have to head back down towards the bottom and try and put the hurt onto that Faceless Void, as Ghostic does not have a jump away here, and he's just dead.
Level 1, nearly 3 minutes. Same thing's happening, but it's exact same thing happening. Oh my God. Yeah. It's just the win is for Ori in the mid lane, and the Sven, the rotation mid, I think that's like, he wants a courier. You can't kill. You don't threaten kills with Lone Druid at level 3. Just doesn't happen, especially not versus, how much health does Ori have? 1200 HP Tiny.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Oh, Ghostic, again, going to just be forced back by Fade.
He can't even, I think Fade could actually just run him down forever. Fade is way stronger than Pango. A Tusk versus a Pango, like Pango's base stats are like one of the worst. 17, 18, 16. You look at Tusk. Tusk has like 26, 25, 20 of strength edging in comparison. So yeah, Fade's just following around this poor Pango, while King R follows around this poor Faceless Void.
Man, I was playing a lot of offlane in this last patch. I don't want to do it anymore. This looks like a really rough time for both of them. It's terrible. And in the meantime, you look at the supports, and like Tusk is level 2. He can move around the map and make a lot more happen. You still have the level 1 Sven, but he's keeping the pressure on to Yang here. He's going to try and get whatever experience he can from this small camp, it looks like.
This is one of the, everyone's so low level already. I mean, it's still early, but 4 minutes, I see 2 level 1s in the game on the side of Pango, like 2 level 2s throughout the other heroes too. It's
been a long time coming.
Yeah, and now bottom. This is where they might actually be able to go for this kill on the Void here.
Okay.
They've got the stun, they've got the chase.
And Yang is going to eat the dirt yet again. Regen rune bottom. That one looks like it's going to be picked up by Slayer as well. Guess who's here? Ghostic going to get snowballed on top of. Oh!
They didn't get him over.
Dude, Ghostic, that was sick. He thinks he cliffed him, but he didn't. Are you watching? That's how it's done.
It really is like, this is like one of the bigger kind of mirrors that I felt like I've seen in quite a bit. Of just the Sven Lich duel, the Sven Lich tri-lane is super powerful at zoning out this offlaner, and same thing top. Oracle Tusk is just so powerful. But it is a 1k gold lead for Vici.
Man, Ghostic, I think that he really wished that he had cliffed him up there, but no such luck, unfortunately, since he's going to be, again, bullied back to the Tier 1 tower. And Ori rotated on mid lane. They find the Entangling Claws. They're able to get the stun. More punches, the Warcry. They could think about diving this a little bit with that extra shield on top of them, and needs to find one more, but isn't going to be able to buy it as the Snowball turns this. And now Ori goes back in. Salva's working. They miss on the Savage Roar, and King R in some trouble. He's going to be able to walk away.
A little bit different when you are level 5 on Lone Druid. You know, I was saying you don't gank for Lone Druid when you're level 3, but 5, that's the big one, because you've got your Entangle on your Bear. So they do threaten Ori a little bit there. Ori's still farming a decent amount better than Sailor on this Lone Druid, though.
Definitely gonna love to be able to get up into that early item for Ori and maybe make some rotations around the map. The panel was talking about the ability to blow up a couple of heroes. It's mainly just the Lich at this point. I guess if you find the Lone Druid also, as Yang. Oh, there's a gaze. Pulls back in, and the jump away. He's going to live, though, it looks like, as they weren't quite able to chase him down. But that's still a TP away, and he went back to the fountain, or to the shrine at least.
Yeah. Both supports on the side of Vici. They're looking to get their wards down, make an aggressive play. Maybe place one behind this tower here before they go for this.
Yeah, level 6 on Lone Druid. He's saving a point.
Yeah, saving to see if he needs to skill his ulti if he does get ganked.
Oh, and looks like they're actually taking the really long wraparounds.
Oh, look at this.
So make sure that they get the wards.
That's just for the ward, okay, so they can watch the support rotations. All right. I thought they might place that behind the mid tower, but placing it on the shrine instead.
Okay, and now in some trouble. Lone Druid here, he is going to be revealed, though, as King R moves into position, and maybe not anticipating that the Tusk was there either. They're going to try and find that chase down, but in the meantime, the Lone Druid going a bit far here onto DY, and it looks like he's maybe going to find this kill. Still a lot of heals coming in from Oracle.
Where's
He's
the
walking
root?
away.
Where's the root?
It ain't happening.
It's not happening, but he wants it.
Why are you chasing?
He really wants it.
Dude, this guy is just running forever.
Oh,
Okay.
he really wanted it. Or he gets himself a kill.
Yeah, nice little pickup there, and well, now the Pango gonna back out again.
How much space did our offlaners get? Ghostic got, oh god, Ghostic got little to nothing. Got his level. He's got his level 2, but
Dude, he's hurting.
he is definitely hurting. Yang is doing a little bit better. At least has a Wraith Band finished up on the Void, and is also he's trying to manipulate the creep's bottom so that he can actually get something. And he finally has. He's pulled it into neutrals.
Mid lane, gonna try and engage in some animal cruelty, and Oracle's gonna pick up that kill. It's a nice little 300 gold injection for the Oracle. You like that?
Yeah, it's a good amount of XP. It's always good to kill the bear. It's also always good to kill the bear because now if you rotate and kill the actual Lone Druid, I think he doesn't have a bear for quite a long time because he just used that resummon.
Yeah. Level 3 for DY. Does have a lot of burst potential at this point in the game for the Oracle. Purifying Flames, hell of a lot of damage.
Other levels, I still feel like people are quite low level because it's just these offlaners got zoned so hard. I mean, Paparazzi's level 7, but his 2 supports are like level 2 and or level 3.
Yeah, Ghost Stick's level 3, going to get chased into the trees here by Fade. Still should have another Swashbuckle. Actually doesn't have the mana for it right now, but does have a Mango. Doesn't want to use it. Yang rotated around upon as they move in with this Juggernaut. Omni Slash used. Yang almost got the jump off, but that turn rate, I think, hurt him.
Yep. I'm literally seeing identical mirror movements, like the top lane too. Even the last hits. Look at Jug's last hits. Look at Luna's. They're like exactly the same on hits and denies, and both teams are wrapping around, trying to pressure the tower exactly in the same way.
Well, and Ori moves in to try and put the kibosh on the pressure in the bottom lane and maybe give his off laner a little bit of a reprieve there, as they can't really move in and try and go for the deny on the tower. So Paparazzi takes the tier 1 tower. Maybe that's going to leave a little bit more room for Pango once the creep wave pushes into his tier 2.
Perhaps, yeah.
But level 8 for both the Luna and that Tiny. And in the past, this is that type of game where you would have a mid laner that moves around and makes a lot of kills happen. Feels like Tiny could maybe be that hero.
Yeah, definitely. Or he could absolutely be making the moves around. While in comparison, you're not going to see Sailor doing that. I think on the side of Pango, it's going to be a lot more of just like this farm game until they can actually just group up and go. Well, on the side of Vici, they absolutely can look for these little pickoffs and stuff with this Tusk, with the Void when he's got Chrono, and with the Tiny.
Ghost Stick. Taking some punches there, and Paparazzi's going to push this wave in, which is going to give him close to his next level.
And we're seeing the build again from Paparazzi, just the farming build. Only the 1 point in the Lucent Beam, not even having his Eclipse.
Yeah. What did he wait till in that last game to get till?
I think he got it. I think he got it like 12 or something to get the Eclipse because they took a fight and he didn't have it. Or he did have it, but he had like level 1 Lucent Beam, so he didn't want to use it. It's all about that farm. Be efficient as possible for these carries. I saw this build when I saw it with an IO originally, and I was like, oh, that's amazing because of the bonus attributes for your IO. But now I'm seeing it like every single time.
Yeah. It's just good.
Yep.
And she is pretty far ahead at this point. Like, Jug has obviously been able to keep up fairly well himself. As the wraparounds come in, they immediately dispel that war cry and just going to be able to find the kill onto King R.
They want to try to go for Naive here too, but It's a bit of a tough one here. As soon as he sees Paparazzi, he just goes to on top. Wants to make that exact same mirror move as we were talking about.
So 4 heroes bottom from Vici. They have not been able to secure a tower as of yet, but it looks like right now LD is going to see if he can push in that tier 1 a little bit. And the movement coming in from Ori. Finding himself a bear. See if he can get the toss back. Throws it in, and Fade does have the tag team. Needs to get the damage out there with the shards. Able to get it. And, well, the bear's still walking away. Do they have another toss? In the meantime, bottom lane, Pango going to be chased in. And it looks like Ghostic might be a bit too far finally as they do take down the Pangolier.
That's huge. I mean, that's really big for Paparazzi. He makes a way down bottom, gets a tower. Well, he gets top tower, goes bottom, gets 2 kills, and another tower for herself. So just boosted a bit more than that Jug. And Luna overall as a hero, until Jug gets Battle Fury, like, you outpace in the farm. Because you have Mask of Madness, you have Max Glaives. It's, yeah. You have your own Battle Fury kind of built in, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, super strong hero. Tiny did go for the phase and then going back for the bracer. Next up is going to be that Blink Dagger, which can allow him to make some more of those moves. Make space for Paparazzi to get everything that he needs.
Yep.
And, well, in the meantime, what's sort of the goal of this Pango draft? Are they attempting to just sort of barrel down lanes with Lone Druid once he gets his items? What's the way that this looks to you?
Well, Panel was saying how they wanted them to like be skirmishing a lot because of the long cooldowns on Vici, but Vici's done a great job in these first 12 minutes to get themselves this advantage. It just doesn't feel like they really can make too many moves, right? Like, just looking at their heroes, like, they need to be waiting for a big item. They need to be waiting for a big item on the Lone Druid for them to rally around, but it's just a bit weird.
Yeah, and in comparison to like what the Blink Dagger brings to you, this Deso is going to do a lot of pushing and a lot of damage, but they don't really have that control on the Pango right now.
I feel like it's like hit 6 on Pango and try to take some type of fight with like 4 heroes around the Lone Druid while your Jug gets some farm, but even that, it's like you don't really want to take a fight versus Vici, so it's just weird. I feel like it's going to be like a really slow-paced side from Pango now, and I don't think that really benefits them too much because Vici's playing with, I mean, a Luna who's going to be super farmed. Sure, the Void's not getting too much, but Tiny is. Right. And this is a lineup that scales pretty hard on Vici.
Smoke up now, Pango and Lich. They're wrapping around the mid lane.
Okay, they've got Chain Frost as well as their Rolling Thunder, so they are pretty strong right now.
They see the Luna, level 12. This would be a nice, tasty pickup for them, and Lucent Beam hits onto the bear. There's only the Luna here as they're going to go in with that Rolling Thunder. He gets a root at the same time! The Chain Frost could come out in just a second as they had that Sinister Gaze. Going to throw it out, and it is going to be enough to kill off the Luna in spite of the Chronosphere. Now the stun, the turnaround onto the Void. It's falling apart for Vici.
Great move there coming in, and of the most fortunate route instantly as soon as the Pango is rolling in. And they might get DY as well. It's
he's running. He looks pretty good here, although the right click coming through, it's a lot of damage. But he's going to be able to walk away. So big move there for the Pango.
Definitely.
Ooh, 2 bears have been killed. I think that second one was the Oracle that got it also. Look close. Oh, there's the Tiny.
Tiny, yeah. Huh. So yeah, big move coming for them. And they're having their Jug farm during all of it, and there we go. 14 minutes. Pretty damn good for Naive. Already level 11 as well with that Battle Fury.
I mean, it is still a fairly farmed Luna at this point in the game, but that death is at least the beginning of something for the Pango. Although Vici still can definitely make a lot happen.
It's just the only thing I'm concerned. Like, I know Vici, they have like this like late game and stuff like that. I see Yang, he's going for a Midas. Just they don't have too much to actually throw into the Chronosphere that we were like the panel was talking about, like we were saying earlier too.
Yeah.
And he's getting silenced up, Yang.
Oh, that smoke up isn't going to work. Looks like the Jug is going to escape, although the snowball in. This is very bold right here. The stun is going to connect onto 2. The Omni Slash with the blade, or excuse me, the Battle Fury, and chase down onto Ori here. Could think about turning this one further as they've also run in with the Luna. Vici Gaming a little bit crazy here, although it looks like Luna might be able to escape Ghost Stick. Does he have another swashbuckle in a second here? He goes forward, finds the silence, and still chasing that Mask of Madness. The cat's kind of limping along.
He's got one more.
Another swashbuckle looking for almost connects, but not quite. And now the heal onto his Luna, and, well, the Chain Frost is not going to bounce, but still chasing Ori. If they find a root, it might be enough, although after that stun, it looks like they're not confident chasing any further.
Ori's still pretty, I mean, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Still pretty tanky, especially with phase boots with that armor. Gives some space to Yang to farm. Has the Midas finished up, so like we're seeing, we see a Void building a Midas. We know that Vici, they want to take it to late stage. They want to be able to get these carry heroes just super farmed. But like we were saying, they don't really have the craziest amount to throw inside that Chrono. They have the Eclipse.
Right.
For the most part.
Well, I mean, I think that those last couple of fights have shown that the Pango are definitely capable of taking engagements right now. It's just about being set up and in the right position. As Ori gonna blink forward, finds King R, and in trouble, he's gone.
Now Vici has Eclipse skill too, so now they're feeling quite a bit stronger. Because their team fight before the Eclipse was pretty weak because it's an offlane Void.
Right.
And like we said, they don't have that much to throw in, but now they've got their Eclipse skilled on the Luna, and with that pickoff, they can make a way into Roche.
Deso for the lone druid.
Hasn't finished. Okay.
But Roche going down. Juggernaut is nearby. They're sending in their courier to scout. Oh my god. That's bold as brass. They realize what's happening now, and they're going to see if they can get here in time. I don't think it's quite quick enough, though, the jump in. Pango trying to do an old avalanche, though. Sick play coming out from Ori, and that saves the day.
Whew. Could have been scary if Kostik able to just hop in.
Did they even have vision there? I'm not sure if they did. They might have dewarded it, but nonetheless. Yeah, big play.
Yeah, very nice to secure that.
Yang thinking about going for the Chrono here. Has Ghostic in his sight, slowed down. Swashbuckle still on a 7-second cooldown. And it looks like they will eventually, well, Avatos, Snowball.
Punch.
Done. Man, it has been a rough game.
Yeah. I mean, all flaners, right? We saw it in the last game, too. It's like Mind Control 0-5. This game, Ghostic 0-5.
Yeah.
Definitely really struggling as we see. The Vlad's picked up by the supports, of course, the 4 positions. The best item.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's something else to consider, too, is that if you're doing more and more pulls because of tri-lanes, maybe supports are going to be picking up those items more often.
Maybe. I mean, this game was a lot of moving around, and it was like the 2 carry heroes are like level 7, and the 2 supports are like level 3. It's a lot of movements.
Well, they found themselves King R yet again. Trying to run with the stun, but Paparazzi's there. Gives him the punches. And this is the type of Luna game that I think you want, even though Jug's catching up. Still very far ahead of all the other heroes in this game.
Yeah. And Vici's in a comfortable, even though they lost like that little bit of that engagement before, they're still in a comfortable spot, and you can tell that they're not in a super rush. Like the Midas Void tells me that in general, just knows he wants to be able to get some farm.
And Paparazzi, very far forward after the Void shows in the bottom lane, but won't be punished there.
They do have great save.
Yeah.
And the catch, I mean, they have like Pango and Lich and like Lone Druid and stuff for their catch, but because those double saves, since they're going for the bear again. They got it. They do. Tag team.
Bear goes down. Not what you want to see.
Third bear.
Does have a resummon if he wants to use it now, and we'll do just that. Looks like Lone Druid's going to be going for the BKB next, but it feels like this timing from Vici, it's going to be really hard to deal with, and they do find themselves the Lich.
Uh-oh, that's
kind of a no man's land.
Oh my god, that's 30 seconds. That's the Frost Shield. That's like the most important hero they actually have for deep push. They don't really have like any deep push on the side of the Pango.
I mean, they do the Savage Roar, but if they lose this bear now as well, they're all inning on it right now. There's no more bear.
It's dead.
The jump in now from the Pango ulti. I don't think this is going to do nearly enough. Ghostic needs to be careful that he doesn't just get killed outside of the base. And so no Pango ulti, no bear, no Lich is going to be back up in 3 seconds. That might be the stop.
I think that's, Vici's going to back up after that. Bounty's respawning too. We got 20-minute mark, so I think damage was done, right? They did an excellent job there threatening.
More gold after killing the bear.
Yeah. They trapped Pango inside their base for a bit too. And it actually looks like King R is going to be able to get 2 of the bounties himself because of that TP.
Nice. Although Paparazzi needs to be careful here as well. Going to go up the high ground, spot out Juggernaut, and then retreat.
Still, oh, okay. Already got the courier. Just threw a tree at it.
That was the Juggernaut's ultimate
full
orb.
Manta. That was his last piece of his Manta.
Oh no.
Pango. Definitely under the gun quite a bit here.
That's only 20 minutes in. It's 6,000 gold lead.
and they're doing like this, you know, the suffocation thing where they're just kind of sitting outside. The one nice thing is that the Pango does at least have like that one ward on the high ground, so they can kind of watch when all of Vici does start to disengage.
Oh. Yang realizing that Jug is going to come over here, has to back out again, and getting his camps farmed against him.
Look at me, Yang treads. He's got a bracer random. Treads, Wraithband, bracer, Midas, and almost alacrity.
Breaks, Shadowblade jumps forward. The Chronosphere is there. They find one kill with DY coming through. The Snowball, it's going to be fully connected. There's going to be the Walrus Punch, and the Juggernaut trying to run away. It is looking like it's not going to happen.
Doesn't get the Omni off. The Lucent Beam comes in and cleans him up, and that's the biggest kill for Vici that they can get. Getting 2 of the cores. As immediately they walk back mid, they still have a good 30 seconds on the Aegis, and oh my. Let's just Chain Frosted to kill that wave. So there's no wave in the mid lane for Vici to actually push with.
King R hoping to do whatever he can to get the pressure back the other direction. Sven trying to TP home here. But
he is looking pretty dead as Ori
he's
TPs.
I mean, it is sort of what we've seen occasionally, where you just kind of have to throw bodies across the map to try and keep them off of your towers. But it does still have that sort of rough feeling where you're going into a late game Luna that's really stacked right here and continues to get farmed. Silence. The stun comes out. The Aegis expires. The fear, they pull him back in. They do have the Oracle ulti, though, for the moment, and trying to keep Paparazzi alive. Is it going to be enough? The root, it's able to connect. They have to pop the BKB after the fact, and now the chase forward for more. Paparazzi barely able to live through that one. They do take down DY. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the chase, but...
That was scary for a second. DY just, I mean, saves him, and then, did you see what he did? He just runs into me. He's like, kill me! Don't kill Paparazzi! Gives up his life.
What
for
a
the
player.
cause. Yeah. That was a bit, that was a bit scary. Still Vici, I mean, they're still in a very, very good spot here in this game. As it does feel like taking just the fights, like we were saying, like Pango's a straight up team fight. Like, sure, they've got Chain Frost, they've got Pango ulti, but Vici's got a lot of ways to tank up and just having a little bit more farm.
Yeah. I do wonder how this is going to change now that Aegis is gone. If maybe the Pango feel more confident taking fights at this point, particularly once you get that Manta style done on the Jug since the Courier had been killed.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
It's just really hard for them to make these plays. It's like they need to bring so many heroes to make the plays when Vici can just do this, or he can just jump in.
Oh, run away!
They don't actually finish him because the Vanguard plus raindrop. Just enough to keep him over.
You notice that Ghost Stick is taunting less now.
Yeah, definitely is taunting less. But yeah, look, it's just like Vici can constantly threaten moves because, like we mentioned, Tiny with the Blink Dagger, they've got a Tusk, they've got a Void he's an offlaner, so he just run at people and try to make plays. And did he just kill it again?
Oh my God.
He got the Manta, though. He got the Manta.
He did. That's something at least, but they are going to lose Sioma here, and the Chain Frost's going to bounce around a couple of times, but to no avail.
And that's one of their bigger teamfight abilities. They used the Pango ulti to disengage, and now they use the Chain Frost while dying, so now the teamfight on Pango is just not there at all. And Vici is knocking on your high ground again. I
mean, the thing that's so frustrating about that, I'm sure, is that Lich is going to be back up again after this glyph wears off just about. So he could have had that for the fight. And it looks like Jug is going to TP back now, but Luna, Paparazzi trying to do the damage that they need to as this bear is dead yet again. And the resummon, is it just gone again? What is happening? The Savage Roar doesn't connect. The creeps are blocking it. Let the bear away. He wants to run, but Paparazzi keeping his eyes on the prize. This bear is dead. Okay. Now the jump in. Great play from King R with the Omni Slash follow-up. I think this might be enough damage after that Oracle ulti wears off. I don't know if they have enough healing at all. The stun comes, and he's down to so low HP, but is going to live through it, it looks like. And while the Juggernaut trying to chase, trying to kill off Fade there, it's not quite going to be there. The Tusk not able to escape as Ori blinks away.
Man, that would have been so huge if they got Ori too. That was like, that was, you see, they were baiting. They were baiting the bear. That's what that was. They were waiting for the two, the Luna as well as the Void, to stack up on top of each other. They get the Dream stun from King R with this Blink Dagger reveal. They insta-kill the Void, but Vici,
I guess that's the thing, is that the bear doesn't matter as much in this type of a game when you're going for the right-click Druid build.
You still need it for your Link.
Right. But if you can take a good fight and you have to give it up, then...
Yeah. The Link helps so much with like your bear, like, even like the small little lifesteal and anything that it does.
Yeah. So, 11-16, a 12,000 net worth lead.
And this Luna has a full butterfly now. I mean, Paparazzi level 18 as well. The damage just doesn't really feel there for the Pango. Even though, I mean, if they can get those type of things like perfectly, maybe. But as long as DY or Fade are sitting in the right position, we'll see those heals come out.
Stun comes through, seeing what they can do, but immediately the snowball save, and Paparazzi's off on the other side. They've caught one in the chrono. That's the Juggernaut. Can they kill him off in time, though? Doesn't look like it in the duration of the chrono, but meanwhile, King R, he is going to die. It looks like Ghost Stick is also potentially going to be ran down here. One more punch in the creeps. Kill off the namesake of the team.
Now they can just go mid. Lich dead for 20 seconds. Do they have the wave? They do as well. Getting up onto that high ground immediately. And yeah, looking like this one's almost in the bag here for Vici.
I mean, this is what happens, though, at this point. You've got Luna just hitting buildings, and they evaporate. As soon as you take down that other tower, the tier 4 is taking a bit of hurt here as well.
And they can just go immediately top because that tower is already dead, or he's already there. The Rax is actually just already dead.
There is a tier 2 in the bottom lane at the very least for the Pango, but right now, Vici gain everything that they want. Is Juggernaut going to try and get out of here. Doesn't actually have a TP. Needs to run back to the side shop. It doesn't look like it's going to end up being punished there, but Roche has respawned, and Vici in a position to maybe go for it.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, they have, well, how long on Chrono? They still have some time for Chrono, but they're still really, really strong. But Pango, maybe they can catch something out here. They are all smoked up. Just Naive is not actually in the smoke, but he's bought out. This is them being like, this could be our last fight. We have to make something happen here.
There's a DD bottom. Don't know if they're going to spot it. Are they all in on this illusion? Ah.
If I was like, please don't Omni Slash Naive. Please don't Omni Slash. That was very close.
Yeah, he does have the MKB done, and they realize that Roche is up. Can maybe go for it here. Well, you got to be so careful. Chronosphere back up in 25 seconds. Maybe they can hit this timing before Chrono is back up again. Naive caught here in the shards. Paparazzi thinking about walking in. Still a little bit longer. 15 seconds on that Chrono. Moving into position, they jump in. The Omni Slash already out onto 2. Can they kill off either of them? They're able to take down Fade at the start. He's immediately going to buy back now. Trying to take down another. They kill off Slayer. Now running, they've already used the false promise. Paparazzi is there and looking for that opening. Yang hits the Chronosphere within range so Paparazzi can go for it, but Paparazzi, he's stunned, so still living for the moment as this Jug needs to run away though, and there's no way that he gets out of there.
GG, yeah. Immediately after that. I think that was, as soon as I saw the MKB purge and everything, that's like, that's an all-in last hurrah. We get Roche or we lose the game. And yeah, they weren't able to secure it. And I think the way that Vici took the fights was pretty cool. Like, I saw the Tusk in that last fight, even though they have a 20k gold advantage, right? The Tusk is kind of sitting on the high ground, and then they wait. They wait for Ori to get like a full wraparound onto the high ground, and then Paparazzi to approach from the river, so that the Tusk can wait for a safe play, and the Oracle can sit in a safe spot too. So just in case of everything, even with a lead, Vici played this one nice and careful. Well,
very well done by Vici. Game number 1 going for them. The Pango need to bring it back 2 games in a row to stay in their chances for the upper bracket match. But we're going to head back to the panel now, see what they thought about that. But quick break first. See you guys in a few.